The Origins of the Draenei by the prophet Velen. My children, my fellow exiles, gather close and heed my words. I am Velen, the prophet, eternal guardian of our people, the Draenei. For millennia, I have walked the paths of fate, guided by visions from the light itself, and today I share with you the tale of our origins, our sorrows, and our unyielding hope. It is a story etched in the stars, stained with the blood of worlds, and illuminated by the grace of the Naru. Sit with me now as I recount our journey from the cradle of Argus to the shores of Azeroth, through trials that would have broken lesser souls. This is our legacy, one I have carried in my heart for near 25,000 years. Let us begin at the beginning, on the jewel of the cosmos we once called home. Argus. Argus. A world of crystalline spires piercing the heavens, where arcane energies danced like living flames across verdant landscapes. We were the Eredar then, a race of unparalleled intellect and mastery over the arcane. Our society flourished under the guidance of three leaders: myself, the so-called visionary, Kil'jaeden, our cunning strategist, and Archimonde, the one we called our enforcer. Together we ruled with wisdom and ambition, pushing the boundaries of magic and knowledge. Argus was a beacon of civilization, its cities humming with the symphony of our innovation. Scholars debated in the grand halls, artisans forged wonders from our knowledge of magic, and our people lived in harmony, unaware of the shadows gathering beyond our skies. But fate, as it often does, arrived unbidden. It came in the form of Sargeras, the fallen titan, once a champion of order, now twisted by his Burning Crusade. He appeared to us as a being of radiant power, cloaked in promises that shimmered like false dawn. Sargeras spoke of a grand purpose: to unite the universe under his banner, to eradicate chaos and bring an eternal peace to all. He desired our services, and in exchange he offered us unimaginable strength, the ability to reshape reality itself through ritual and magic, the likes of which we had never seen before. Kil'jaeden and Archimonde, my brothers, they were enthralled. They saw in him the pinnacle of ambition, a chance to elevate our people to godhood. Join me, Sargeras urged, and together we shall burn away the imperfections of creation. I too felt the pull of his words, but the light granted me a vision, a harrowing glimpse of truth. In my mind's eye, I saw Argus engulfed in green flames, our people warped into monstrous forms, serving not as liberators but as destroyers in an endless war against beauty itself. Sargeras was no savior. He was an architect of annihilation, seeking to corrupt us into his legion of demons. Horrified, I confided in a select few, but time was my enemy. As Kil'jaeden and Archimonde pledged their souls, accepting the fell infusion that twisted them into Manari, demonic Eredar, I knew that we had to flee. Salvation came from the Naru, ethereal beings of pure light who had watched over the cosmos for eons. Kier, one of their ancient kin, reached out to me in my despair. Prophet, it whispered in melodies of hope, gather your faithful. We shall guide you to safety. With Kier's aid, we commandeered the Genedar, a dimensional fortress ship powered by the Naru's essence. In the dead of night, as the Legion's corruption spread like wildfire across Argus, I led a group of our people, those who trusted my visions, into the unknown. We left behind families, friends, our very world. The skies wept fell storms as we departed, and I watched from the Genedar's crystalline viewport as Argus fell to ruin. My brother Kil'jaeden's rage echoed through our stars. He vowed an eternal pursuit From that day, we called ourselves Draenei, the exiled ones, for we were cast out, hunted, but unbroken. Our flight through the great dark beyond was an odyssey of centuries, nay, millennia. The Eredar carried us across twisting nether streams from one world to the next, always one step ahead of the Legion's hounds. We settled on planets of lush beauty, building havens where we could heal and remember Argus. On one such world, Zygor, we planted crystals that sang with the light, fostering communities that echoed our lost home. But the Legion's shadow was relentless. Kil'jaeden, now called the Deceiver, twisted demons and warlocks to our trail. Time and again they found us, worlds burned in our wake, innocent civilizations razed because we dared to seek refuge. The guilt weighs heavy on me still. How many souls perished for our survival? And yet the Naru urged us onward. Endure, Velen. The light has a purpose for you. The light. The purpose. After thousands of years adrift, we found a sanctuary that promised true peace. A verdant world teeming with life, home to proud clans of orcs and other primal beings. We named it Draenor, Exile's Refuge in our tongue, a fitting homage to our weary hearts. Here the Eredar settled in the mountains, its Naru core dimming, still protective. We built cities like Shattrath, a gleaming metropolis where light and nature intertwined. Temples rose to honor the Naru, and our artificers crafted wonders from the world's abundant crystals. For generations we lived in harmony with the orcs. They were shamanistic warriors bound to the elements and, though wary at first, trade and mutual respect blossomed. I walked among their chieftains, sharing visions of unity, while our people, now numbering in the tens of thousands, I found solace in Draenor's wild beauty. But peace is fragile, and the Legion's vendetta knew no end. Kil'jaeden, ever the schemer, turned his gaze upon the orcs after our discovery. Unknown to us, he appeared to their elder shaman, Ner'zhul, in the guise of ancestral spirits, whispering lies of Draenei treachery. They are invaders, he hissed, plotting to enslave your world. Under his influence, sometime later, the orcs drank the blood of the demon Manaroth, a pit lord, becoming fell corrupted berserkers. Their skin turned green, their rage insatiable. What followed was a nightmare that I foresaw, but I could not prevent it. The rise of the Horde. The orcs descended upon us like a storm fell in steel. Shattrath fell in a siege of unimaginable horror. Our crystals shattered, our priests slain at their altars. I led defenses from the front, channeling the light to shield my people, but the orcs were relentless, empowered by their newfound demonic fury. Villages burned. Families were torn asunder. In the marshes of Zangarmarsh, we hid in fungal caverns, but even there, the Horde hunted us. The worst came at the temple of Kerabor, our holiest site, defiled and renamed to the Black Temple. 9 out of 10 Draenei perished in those days. I remember the cries, too, of the broken ones, those of my people twisted by Fel into wretched forms of fate, far worse than death. Wanted to pause here for a moment, everybody, just to let you all know that I will soon be releasing an audiobook reading of the story Unbroken, which covers the events of the fall of Shattrath City for heroic channel members right here on Nixium. If you all would like to become a member to support this kind of content, check out the link down below in the description and unlock some exclusive content. I also wanted to give a shout out to Zygor, this channel's sponsor, World of Warcraft's Ultimate Guide add-on for any of you looking to up your game before midnight releases. Let's get back to the video. It was in our darkest hour we survivors, barely a remnant, fled to hidden enclaves. The Naru, sensing our peril, guided us to Tempest Keep, a Naru fortress orbiting Draenor. We stormed its Blood Elf guardians, claiming the Exiled, one of its satellite structures, as our escape vessel. And as our enemies closed in, we activated its dimensional engines, hurtling through the nether towards a prophesized world of destiny. Sabotage or fell interference disrupted the jump. The Exiled plummeted, crashing upon the islands of Azuremist and Bloodmist off the coast of a new world. Azeroth, a realm of ancient titans, warring factions, and boundless potential. Our arrival was no gentle landing. The crash scattered our people across toxic shores, crystals ebbing into the land and mutating the local wildlife. I awoke amid the wreckage, the light preserving me, and I rallied what survivors I could find. And it was then that we encountered the Night Elves, ancient, graceful beings who, though suspicious, extended their aid. The druids healed our wounded, and in return, we shared our knowledge of the light. And it was here in this unfamiliar land that we forged our first alliances. Word spread of our plight, and soon we joined the Alliance, a coalition of humans and dwarves, gnomes, and elves united against common foes. King Varian Rin of Stormwind, he welcomed us, seeing in our struggle a mirror of his own people's resilience. Since that fateful crash-in, we Dreni have woven ourselves into Azeroth's tapestry. Our first trials came against the Scourge, the undead legions of the Lich King. In Northren's frozen wastes, we stood with the Alliance at the Wrathgate, our Vindicators clashing with Death Knights. I personally advised the assault on Icecrown Citadel, where the Light's champions felled a fallen human whose name was Arthas, and in doing so, we freed countless souls trapped within his accursed rune blade. But peace eluded us. Shortly after, there was a great cataclysm that sundered the world, brought on by the madness of a fallen dragon aspect. My people were dragged into a war on a mysterious island shrouded in mist, and we even led at the front into an alternate Draenor of the past where we made contact with kin separated by time and reality itself. And yet, Kil'jaeden's influence persisted. And a day that I long feared came for Azeroth, as it had Draenor in the past, as it had for every world that our people attempted to call our home. The skies of Azeroth one day darkened, and the Legion stretched out its hand to claim this world too into its fold. The Burning Legion assaulted the Broken Isles, summoning demons through a structure called the Tomb of Sargeras. I returned to the Exiled. I rallied our forces, and I helped lead the charge aboard the Vindicar, a new vessel forged from the knowledge of the Naru. And in that terrible war, through a series of events, we ended up returning to Argus itself, confronting the ruins of our birthplace. Despite great losses, however, our armies, that of the Alliance and the now more civilized Horde, managed to find tremendous victories against the Legion. Facing Kil'jaeden aboard his command ship was a moment of profound sorrow. My former brother, consumed by his hatred, lashed out against us all in his attempts to wrestle victory from the ruin of his crusade. And yet, despite all the power that he had been promised those years ago on Argus, I watched him fall. He was different, however, as his dying breaths were taken before me. There was almost regret in his tone. He didn't believe that Sargeras could be stopped, he told me through a broken voice. And despite all of his hatred for my people, our people, and for me, he made a final confession. He envied us. He envied me, our faith in the light, when his had been found lacking. Perhaps you'll think me a fool, but in a final act, I placed my hand upon my former brother's head to comfort him before departing, leaving him to his fate. Kil'jaeden, our once cunning strategist turned deceiver, he found his end, alone, broken, and yet the Draenei remained. Today, as Azeroth faces new threats, be they from the depths of the world or the voids beyond, we Draenei remain vigilant. We build new altars where we can, we teach the light in Stormwind's cathedrals and explore uncharted lands. Our story is one of loss, but also of redemption. From Argus's fall to Azeroth's embrace, we have endured because the light never abandons its chosen. My children, I say to you now, my visions speak of a final war between the light and the void, where Azeroth stands as the fulcrum. But stand confident, sons and daughters of Argus. Our exile ends not in defeat, but in victory. That is our faith. That is our hope. And so our tale continues. If these words stir your spirit, seek the chronicles of our people, the tomes in Shatrath's ruins, the crystal songs within the Exiled. The light bless you all. I remain still your prophet. Velen. Everybody, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please let me know down in the comments section below, as it's a new type of project that I've never done before, telling lore from the perspective of one of Azeroth's in-game characters. So I'm open to feedback. And if you want to help support and enjoy more of Warcraft's fantastic storytelling, might I suggest the Forgotten Curse of Duskwood for you spooky story enjoyers out there, or if you're in the mood for some alternate Warcraft lore. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you with my next video.